Hello everyone, today we're doing a book review on Vernon Can Read by Annette Gordon Reed and Vernon Jordan. If you do not know who Vernon Jordan is, he was an American executive, a lawyer, board member, and more. I discovered who Vernon Jordan was last year, unfortunately right after his death. He died March 1st in 2021. I learned who he was from Lieutenant General Charles Hooper. Thank you, Lieutenant Charles Hooper, for teaching me about Vernon's story and encouraging me to get his book. So Vernon Jordan was an American lawyer, an executive, and more. He actually grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, 1935. He grew up in a very segregated South. In school, Vernon was an excellent student. He actually said that his mother was part of his school board, so that might have been part of the reason why he was so encouraged to study harder and be involved in a lot of extracurricular activities. He actually said that he was involved in theater, and he actually really loved learning theater and participating in these plays because it improved his confidence in public speaking, which later we learned was beneficial to him because he became a very highly important person in the civil rights era and movement. He graduated high school with honors and was quickly applying to many colleges. To make some money to get into college, he actually recalls that he was denied his opportunity to attend a certain internship because he was Black. Therefore, this made him actually become a chauffeur for a rich white man who used to be the mayor. This guy's name was Robert Maddox, and Robert Maddox was actually one day walking upon his house and he saw Vernon in his library reading a book. And this astounded the man because he did not think that Black men should be reading and could read. And he was telling his family that night at dinner that he was so surprised like Vernon can read. And that's actually where we get the title. And in that moment, Vernon realized how powerful it is for a Black man to be educated and to be aware of his own history and his own potential if he really learns about it and moves forward with it. And this is such a powerful title because we all know that a lot of Black people don't have the opportunities as some of their white counterparts to have a great education, but Vernon was very lucky where he had a mother who really cared about his education and was part of the school board to make sure her son was getting the education, and other Black students were also getting that equal opportunity to learn more. In 1960, Jordan earned his Juris Doctor at Howard University of Law. He was actually in private practice for some years, but actually left in 1960s to join the civil rights. He later served as the field director for the NAACP in Georgia. Then in 1960s, he became the executive director of the United Negro College Fund and participated and became the president of National Urban League in 1971 to 1981. Based on all of his achievements, we all can tell that he was a very smart man, very hardworking, and held a lot of high executive offices in these spaces that traditionally didn't even really have Black men. In the beginning, these were, Black-run organizations for uplifting Black youth. However, they weren't run by Black people. Typically, they're run by white men. And he was one of the first, if only, Black men to actually infiltrate these spaces. And that is like really significant. And to this day, we still do lack a lot of diversity up at high levels. And, a term called corporate glass ceilings is we have a lot of diversity at the bottom of the chain of a corporate ladder, but at the top, there's a lot of white executives, white male. There's no female executives, definitely not really female of color or male of color. And this is something that Vernon was able to break through when he was working his way in these fields. And eventually he became a very, very close partner to Bill Clinton in Bill Clinton's era as president. And there's just a lot of resources about that and how this was such a significant role where we never really had any Black people in these spaces, and Vernon was the first one. And it's just so powerful to know that he was someone who was alive recently, and he is such a renowned man, but at the same time I feel like he was very anonymous in a way. I had no idea who he was, but I wasn't as up to date in my Black politicians as I thought I was. I'm really grateful that I was able to find this amazing story about such an amazing, hardworking man who really changed the political climate in a way and really shaped the American civil rights era and our modern day world. All right, everyone, that is my book review on Vernon Can Read.